this is Karen with Waste Free Cooking, and today we're talking about water. Specifically, what the definitions mean about boiling water. And what the four phases of water are, or boiling water are, is a simmer, a lazy boil, a boil, and a rolling boil. And when do we use those? Why do we use those? And how do we use those to make the best food possible? So a simmer is bubbles of steam form on the hot bottom of the pan but collapse quickly as surrounding water cools and condenses the vapor inside them. You will notice there'll just be tiny bubbles break the surface. It occurs at about 185 degrees. Of course, water boils at sea level at 212 degrees. The next phase is called lazy boil, and that's when large bubbles just break the surface in a gentle or a lazy boil, kind of a blub, blub, blub. So a boil occurs at 212 degrees, and that's when water molecules are vaporized at the bottom of the pan, and then that sends them upwards in steam-filled bubbles. So you get big bubbles, blue, 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 and they break the surface. A rolling boil is a boil that cannot be stopped by stirring. So that's when we would do that, is when we are, for instance, adding pasta to water. We want that water to boil as quickly as possible, so we want it to be very hot. Once water is boiling, it doesn't get any hotter than it is. It will change form, but it doesn't get any hotter. What happens is that the food condenses, and then it seems like it's getting hotter because it's bubbling more vigorously, it's boiling more vigorously, and splashing all over the place. So it's not that it's getting hotter, it's just getting more concentrated. So let's see what these really look like. So this is what a simmer looks like in just water. You can see we're starting to get tiny bubbles boiling in the bottom of the pan. And you get the sound. So you cook with all your senses. You also boil water with all your senses. So this is about 185 degrees, tiny bubbles. This is a nice simmer on tomato sauce. So you can see we got some bubbles going, and you can hear how it sounds. You cook with all your senses, so hearing is an important one to use. This is a lazy boil. You see how it's just blub, 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 blubbing. Perfect for stock. And there we have a regular boil. And here we are at a full-on boil. Big bubbles breaking the surface. And again, listen to the sound. So we're going to go ahead and add our pasta. And we're back to a boil. But we're not at a rolling boil because the stirring interrupted it. So this is a rolling boil. We're stirring and it's still boiling. That's what we want when we cook our pasta. Right back to it. I hope that's cleared some things up about just what a simmer, a lazy boil, a boil, and a rolling boil mean. This is Karen from Waste Free Cooking. Thanks, and may the boil be with you.